Hey guys, welcome back to Real Mental Health. Today it's a lovely Monday, but it's a little bit frigid outside, and that's how it's going to be for the rest of the week. So make sure you get to school safely. Speaking of school, today we'll be talking about mental health in schools. Bryn, do you think you could talk about and inform us about what mental health is?
Yes, Bria. So, one of the main mental illnesses in school systems are ADHD, anxiety, eating disorders, and depression that can even lead to suicide. Mental illness is a medical condition that can be caused and diagnosed prior to the effects of school stress. One of the main factors of this was COVID, and it had a severe negative impact on students' mental health.
The pandemic changed the way students learned and their skills. Students lost a lot of their work ethic and cheated their way through school. Students lost a lot of their social skills after coming back, and students still aren't back to how it was before COVID. Teachers, administrators, and students are all striving for normalcy, but with the increase in mental health issues and decrease in the skills, the pandemic has severely changed everybody's lives.
It is also important that students are academically challenged regardless of mental illness. An article for the Greater Good magazine stated that the brain's capacity develops most fully when children and youth feel connected, engaged, and challenged. Students should gain as much knowledge as possible while their brain is still developing, so students with mental health problems should not be let off the hook. Many students also come from bad home lives where they are not supported mentally. Parents can put too much pressure on their kid to succeed. The effects of school can add on to this pressure. Constant assignments, due dates, and tests overwhelm students and don't give them enough time to fully understand the topics. Administrators should work towards providing teachers with more flexible curriculums that give students the time they need to work through their assignments with mental health. Now let's look at students' view on the effects of school on mental health.
In a survey that we did with a class of 16 students, we found that 81.3% of them answered yes when asked if they were struggling with mental health. When asked how often, the majority of the students said sometimes, often, or always. Were also asked if school positively or negatively affected their mental health, and half of them said both. 37.5% said negatively, and 12.5% said neither. When the students were asked which parts of school harm their mental health, the majority of the answers were about stress and the workload as well as social standards. Students were asked if teachers were understanding of their struggles. 50% of the students said sometimes, and 18.8% said often, and 31.3% of students said rarely. The students were also asked which parts of school improved their mental health, with the majority of the answers being about their friends and social aspects, including the classes. Teachers were also a contribution. Back to the negative effects. Do you want to expand more on that, Sophia?
I do, thank you. Though different people are affected by school in different ways, to start off with, overscheduling is a major factor in mental illness in schools. Students are expected to participate in many extracurricular activities, including sports, as well as having a job. This preparation and overscheduling leads students to feel stressed about having a lack of time, as well as lose sleep, which is a major factor in the development of anxiety. Another factor that is often overlooked because it is seen as a thing of the past is bullying. Though schools have taken more action on physical bullying while in the school building, negativity at school can now follow students home with the development of social media. When students are constantly surrounded by hate and hostility, their mental health is impacted drastically.
When we talked to a licensed therapist, she definitely agree with you about the bullying and such, but she also really expanded on bullying within friend groups and how just the social standards really affect students' mental health.
If schools are the source of bullying, it also can be stopped there. A final, and in my opinion, the most significant factor in mental health is academic stress. Students have pressure put on them by parents, teachers, and the students themselves, which leads them to be constantly struggling to meet high and sometimes unobtainable standards. Some of the many causes of academic stress include inadequate resources, grading systems, and syllabuses, which are all controllable factors. Because all of these factors are in the school's control, the school has the opportunity to make changes in order to help students. And if these facilities focus on improving students' mental health as much as they do academics, the alarming statistics relating to teens suffering from mental illness can drop.
I'm doing a paper on mental health in the schools. I think this is a very important topic. However, I do not feel this falls solely on the teachers in the school. This is a really big topic, and teachers are trained to teach you. They go to school for that. They need support from mental health experts to provide you with support.
So what do you think a solution to this could be?
Oh my gosh. That takes a whole system reform. People aren't really accepting mental health yet as an issue that they need to provide funding for in a school. it's becoming more and more prevalent. Especially, it's really stood out since COVID. And so I think they need to revamp that and look at they need to increase funding that goes to schools to help provide support. Schools rely on funding from the state, which also leads to a whole bigger United States issue of funding for education. And it's very difficult to provide resources in a school for mental health with very limited funding. As far as money going to mental health experts that can come into our school and provide that support so that teachers can be supported, and therefore they can support you and help you in the classroom.
Okay, and do you think that because the teachers are trying to complete everything in their curriculum, it gives them no space to cut down on homework and things like that?
Do you feel teachers are under pressure to make sure that they teach kids what they think kids should know? You have to remember, these high school teachers are trying to prep kids and send them off to college, trying to prep them for AP exams, trying to get them ready for the ACTs. So to say that they're not going easy on their curriculum, well, that's because we are trained to think we've got to give this to kids and do the best we can to prep them.
Along with the positive aspect of friend groups that Olivia was talking about, I think it's important to talk about the other positive factors that come with school.
So basically, school is not all this sad, whoopie, noopy place. Schools can have a positive effect on mental health by giving kids more control over their lives and by meeting friends. So basically, this is because when kids have more control over their lives, they are allowed to make their own decisions. And being able to make their own decisions, they don't feel lost and overwhelmed. Also, by having more control over their lives, they are able to move confidently and complete their goals. Education gives you the ability to immerse yourself in a topic you are passionate about, and the end goal is a sense of accomplishment. When you are confident and strive for your goals, this allows you to experiment with what you are truly passionate about. Finding your passion helps you be able to find yourself. In high school, people are developing their own personal identity. Finding yourself develops your identity. Another positive factor in school is the communication aspect. In high school, students with higher quality friendships tended to improve in several aspects of mental health over time. The positive memories you form with your friends at school promote positive feelings. Like I mentioned above, is that in high school, people's identities are still forming. These positive memories that they make with their friends at school can help form one's identity in positive ways. Friendships support each other and make one feel welcome, which supports better mental health. Friendships also build confidence and make you feel like you belong and have a purpose. By doing so, this boosts your happiness and self-love. Friendships will be there for you when no one else is. Friends support one when one's mental health is plummeting. Also, in school, in some ways, teachers are parental figures for kids. And for some kids who don't have the best parental figures at home, school kind of becomes their safe space because they feel like they have this love they don't receive at home from their teachers and friends. School can feel like home for many kids and make many feel welcome. Teachers encourage their students to do the best, which may make kids feel supported. Overall, school is sometimes a safe place and homey feeling place because of their encouragement and welcoming atmosphere of teachers and friends.
The majority of students don't know about all of our resources, and on a we'll cut that out. And on our survey that we handed out, 50% of our students only said that they sometimes feel that they have the resources. What are our resources?
I think that this statistic is mainly a sometimes answer because students' help they can receive is situational. For students with bad mental health problems that affect their daily life, school counselors aren't going to be able to help them with all their problems. School counselors can refer students to better certified therapists who can provide more help and answers. However, school counselors are there to help with minor problems that not all students receive help for. The school also has an in-house therapist that I didn't even know about until recently, so most of the school's resources are available, however, they just need more recognition.